Another tip for world domination. Yes, it's me, it's John, it's the Marketing for Owners podcast, the place where you'll learn to create your self-marketing company, a company that markets itself while you choose to do what you want to do. Now, as you will notice, I'm back in the UK. For the last week or so, I have been skiing, and my businesses run while I'm out on the slopes. And no, I have an iPhone, but no, nobody rings me, no one emails me. They know what to do. And one of the reasons is because I gradually learned over a number of years. For those of you who can see me, I've got grey hair, means I'm 50. For all those young people, yeah, people live that long and they can still operate machinery like an iPhone. But I have learned to take responsibility, and that is my tip for your world domination. You need to take responsibility for your actions. Now, you probably do, but I mean, and then some. So, for example, in my business, just to remind you, those of you that have not been listening before, first of all, where have you been? Go on, get on, just pause this, jump onto iTunes, hit the subscribe button if you're on a desktop, or if you're on a website, on the right hand side, I think in the collar, in the margin, there's a subscribe on iTunes. Of course, you can go to SoundCloud or Stitcher or the other ones, but yeah, you gotta love iTunes, really, haven't you? But then come back and carry on with this. You can listen to all the other 350 odd episodes later in the afternoon. So, responsibility, yes, it's your fault. Everything. My business is fire protection online. It's in the UK. It's an e-commerce. Oh, well, it's e-commerce, but it is a warehouse. We have staff. There are, funny enough, I was being interviewed last night for brilliant Tim Paige's Conversion Cast podcast for lead pages, and I suddenly realised I don't know how many staff I have, but I've been into my work today and I saw an organisational chart, and not including me, there are 15. I actually guessed there were 12 or 13. There's 15. Isn't that funny? It's another story. So, in my company, like I say, I'm not there. However, over the years, I've learned to accept responsibility for everything that goes on in my business. Now, this also applies to my life in general. And this is like, did you listen to Monday's episode? Is that 356 maybe, where I explained that there is no wrong? There is no wrong. That's how you get your team and your staff to take on more and to be more involved and not be scared, is by explaining that whatever they do, they can't get it wrong. They can do it good enough for now, and they can learn to do it better the next time. But you're not going to tell them, oh, that's not bad, but you should have. You're going to let them learn for themselves. Now, your turn, you get the same effect. This happens over a period of time. You'll find, oh, I'm different. But you're going to take responsibility. So, to give you an example, and I'm just making this up, in our business we sell smoke alarms, safety signs, fire alarm stuff, fire extinguishers, things like that. We also, despite being an e-commerce and an online company, we service fire extinguishers. We have teams of people who go all around the UK servicing fire extinguishers once or twice a year. Now, when one of our team is out and about maintaining a fire extinguisher, they could be in the top end of Scotland, which is it's probably about 600 miles away. Someone who has never been to our office. If that service engineer does something wrong, the customer doesn't like it, the customer, by the way, if they don't like it, they don't have to pay, they get it all for free. They can complain. We have an independent review thing called Trustpilot we use, so people who have purchased from us can then review. They have to have purchased, so they're genuine reviews. And if they give us a 1 star, nothing we can do, can't edit them, they can say we are horrible, nothing we can do. But if that happens and they then contact the company, even if they don't contact the company, that is my fault. Even if I was off in Vancouver in Canada like I am every other month, or if I was off skiing, if I wouldn't even know the customer, the order, any of the details. It is my fault. Let me explain. I know this is, a lot of you listen to this and thinking, what is he talking about? What is he on? But no, let me tell you. It's my fault because I set up the company. I set up the initial systems. I set up the system for hiring people. I set up, or in actual fact, I didn't. I hired the person who eventually set up the system for hiring people. I trained that person. I enabled them by explaining they could do no wrong and so on. I delegated the tasks. I set up an organizational structure. I gradually replaced myself in all positions in the company. It was my decision to start a fire extinguisher servicing division, which, by the way, jumped off using what we know about online marketing. That actually did 6 figures in its first 12 months, just as an aside, with no extra advertising. Cool, eh? I explained how we're going to hire the person that supervises and coordinates the maintenance. I explained how the system is going to work. I let my staff go with it, and then they do it. So we have a service coordinator who reports to her services supervisor, customer services supervisor, who reports to our general manager, and everything through it doesn't involve me. But if something went wrong, it's because the person at the end of the line was not given the correct information. So that service technician, that service engineer, wasn't given the exact correct method or explanation. They did not explain why we do it like we do, why customer service is more important than money to us, why the customer is everything and we don't care whether they pay for it or not. We just want them to get what they expected to get. We didn't communicate that. And the reason we didn't is because somebody did not explain to the service coordinator why that should be so, and someone didn't explain a step up, and someone didn't explain, and it all comes back to me. The buck stops here. Now, you may think this is a really odd thing to do, but it also includes if we purchase stuff from a supplier and we overpay, it's because I have not put the training in place for people to understand, or not organized for the systems to be developed so that the person cannot get it wrong. That is my fault, and is something that we learn ongoing. But once you start to realize this, once you start to realize it's your fault, you start to apply it to other parts of your life. So when people complain about competitors and about Amazon's pricing and about all this kind of stuff, Amazon are just doing what they're going to do, and anyone else could have done it, and anyone else could come along and try and copy them and do it. It's not going to get any better. You have to take responsibility for what you're going to do to change, to combat it, or to think differently. Take responsibility. So again, it's not necessarily your fault or anything like that, but it's your responsibility to do something about it. Moaning is not going to get you very far. You must have met people who complain and moan like mad about everything. That doesn't help. You need to take responsibility. In your personal life, you may have kids. Something goes wrong, you will figure it out. You take responsibility. You just do it like that. It's an instinct. It's what you do. I hope you do anyway. but it's kind of just a thing we do. There's no, oh gosh, you don't run around in circles saying, I don't know what to do. You know whether to call a doctor, you know whether to call a friend or a parent, you know whether to take a sick child upstairs and pop them in bed and stick a bucket by the bed if they're not feeling well. You just do it. It's the same in life. Don't complain about everyone else. Don't come up with excuses, with stories, as Tony Robbins would say. Don't create excuses for why your life is not great. Take some responsibility and do something about it. And this, like I said, so this applies to everything. By the way, we have not had a customer in Scotland who's complained and given us 1-star review, and our service coordinator is wonderful, so is her supervisor, so is his manager. That was just an example of what could happen. But like I say, everything is responsibility. So if right down to if I don't turn up to something on time, it's not the responsibility of the traffic jam I got stuck in. It's my responsibility for not having left earlier in case I got stuck in a traffic jam, and it means that I didn't respect the person's time enough, etc., etc. I just think differently about it. This is an eye-opener. It frees you up. Stop complaining, stop moaning about everyone else. Get control. Once you get control, it's fabulous. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. If you're not quite clear what I mean, go and you want to talk more about this, by the way. Did you know I do training? Did you know you can get one-on-one time with me? Have I not mentioned that? It's kind of newish, giving real easy access. Go to the website, go to marketingforowners.com/free time. Yes, free. FREE time. Go there, read what I can offer you, and there's a calendar there. If you want to grab a 25-minute one-on-one where I contact you, there is a calendar. You can just book me anytime that's available, pick the convenient one, and we can discuss your business, and I can show you how I can double your business with less effort. And it's an all-round holistic thing. I'm waving my arms. I don't know why. I can see a reflection over there of me waving my arms. But it's an all-round holistic thing. Anyway, go for it. If you feel your business is a bit stuck, I can help you with that. And these things are just a bit of it. But honestly, I've been doing this for a long time, and all this stuff works. Anyway, it is Thursday. It is time for a Drive Time podcast, and today is a super duper one. It's called the Social Pros. Pros as in PROS. Right? It's by a fantastic, it's two guys, a fantastic guy, Jay Baer. Baer is spelled B-A-E-R. And Adam Brown. Now, Jay Baer is from Convince and Convert, is one of the leading absolute top thought leaders in social media, and he consults with big business. He's written books like Utility and all sorts. Fantastic, really top guy. Adam Brown is from Salesforce, world's biggest CRM. Don't have to say any more about that. I highly recommend. They have chats on the leading edge of things. Some of the stuff they talk about, some of the people they talk with, are just got such great ideas. Well worth a listen. So just Google Social Pros podcast, or go to iTunes, look up Social Pros. You'll find it dead easy. It's also got some award, I think was it last year, for the top podcast of something or other. Fantastic, well worth a listen. I will be back tomorrow. We've got a really good weekend challenge tomorrow, all about emails. Another one for a marketing tip. Back on marketing, back off all the boring stuff. I'll see you then.